microphone. Testing 1 2. Testing. It could be working. Yep. Let's turn down the gain a little bit. Alright, can you hear me now, Frank? Let's see. Down the gain a little bit. I think you guys can hear me. Desktop audio. Let's see. Let's see if I can make an echo. Let me log in real quick. Mending Motos. Test. Test. Oh, what's your news, Frank? Looks like you guys can hear me now. I'm pulling it up on my phone, so looks like it's good. Yeah, sweet. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. Let's see. Turn this guy off. This is already recording, so hopefully you can hear me and see me. It says everything's good to go, so we'll go ahead and start jumping into some just editing. I got my view open. I'm just closing a bunch of stuff. There we go. And then you should be, yeah, sweet. So if can I undock this? I guess not. Sweet. Cool. Glad you can hear me. What's the awesome news? By the way, if I'm a little slow to respond, I'm flipping between my editing screen, like that I'm editing the video with the chat, and I can't see them both at the same time, which is kind of weird. I'm trying to get this thing. Let's see. Maybe I can do. Oh wait, no, they are separate. There we go. I just can't minimize it. That's what it is. Can I pull you all the way down to the bottom? Yeah, I can pull you all the way down to the bottom. Leave chat right there. I don't think you can see that. You shouldn't be able to see that. Sweet. Right. Let's go ahead and get some editing done. So this is the editing for the valve clearance job. You can see here, this is the footage that I got from my our last rental house, where I got most of the work done, and I filmed all of it, but I just haven't had time to just sit down and edit. And there's a lot of people that talk about like big YouTubers, or not even big YouTubers, or like medium size, and they're like, well, why haven't you released a video? There's a lot of time and effort that goes into editing, and professionally I was a video editor, video maker, so this is technically easy for me, and these videos that I'm making, there's really not that much to do on them. I'm just cutting them down and kind of putting them in place. But they still take time. Like, I'll zoom out here. I've just started this one, and this is what, a couple clips, not too bad, but you can see on one of the last sequences, the first video, this was just the reveal, just to showcase the new bike. You can see, I'll bring this up a little bit, bring you guys up a little bit, and kind of get an idea of just how many clips it takes to make these kind of step-by-step zoomed in style videos, kind of like RRC restoration. That guy, even more so, he has a lot of cuts. But you can see there's hundreds of them. I don't know, I forgot how to see how many clips you have, but this has got to be 300, maybe more, of just clips, and this was a small video. This next video I'm working on the valve clearance. It has a whole crap ton more. So let's go ahead and get some stuff started on this guy. There we go. Sweet. Yeah, I remember that. I got a 95 RF 900 and two more. Damn. Let me just search up what a 95. I remember I pulled it up and it looked like the Honda V or F3s and F4s. 95 RF 900. Yeah. What those things even cost? Yeah, those things look almost identical to the F3s. Let me jump on Facebook real quick. I'm curious what I could find one for. RF 900. Let's see. Ooh, ugh. There's some busted ass ones. They are quite rare here. There's nothing really around the Texas area of them. There's one. I take that back. There's two. There's one that's just disintegrated. There's another one that says it's $2,500. That's not too bad. But yeah, it's a good one to start on. Not a bike for beginners. Also a bunch of spare parts. Blah blah blah. Yeah, it's funny. I don't know. It's probably a quick bike, but it's definitely okay for beginners. I got my 95 RF 900 and two more 95. So you got, how much did that cost you? So that's 3 bikes total. Are all of them like legit doable, rebuildable, or is there like one good one and 2 parts bikes? Sorry, I gotta get my window set up, and if you see me like bobbling and looking weird, I have my webcam that's kind of interfering with my my display screen, so I'm trying to look around it. There we go. That's good. Like that's a perfect example. Like I've been working on this for a second, and I realized I didn't even want to use this clip at all. What was this clip? The purpose of this one? Am I loosening the bolts? Oh, that's what it was. Okay, well, we'll just keep that, and then go to this. Oh yeah, and if I have a funny, goofy looking face, like super concentrated or super squinting, it's because I have a light here to light me up, but for some reason it's kind of glaring on the screen. So I'll have to work on that setup a little bit. you fit a little bit bigger. Let's see. Okay. No, I don't wish you. Nope. I just gotta know where your cursor is. Actually, let's just do this. No, what am I doing here? I remember taking off this top boot was a pain in the ass because I didn't realize that I could get like a really long 1/4 inch extension in there with like a 10mm through the actual frame. Because I tried it with my, what was it, my 3/8, and at the time I misplaced my course. So I was like, oh, if I can't get that in there, I'll just have to do it with a box end wrench or whatever, a ratchet or a wrench. And yeah, it took me forever to do this freaking, to remove this specific one. Not even stopped. Yeah, I think I just stopped. Yeah, I freaking just stopped recording because I was like, oh, this is annoying. Let's see what that gives us. That gives us rag, nut, and then I'll do a clip of me working on the back side of it, just so there's some. There we go. Always gotta make sure you know where your cursor is. Alright, that's good enough. We'll do next clip. First 900 only cost me 40 from Facebook Market. 40 bucks? Dang, he's trying to get rid of that thing. Ah, so I mean, you can piece most of those together. Yeah, those are the lucky finds, especially with the older bikes. They're probably like his project bikes or maybe a relative's project bikes, where they're just trying to make space and they don't even understand the value of things. Like you could easily sold all three for $1,000 because I mean that's not bad for what it's worth, but yeah, just even in scrap metal, those things are worth more in scrap metal. So yeah, you definitely got a deal. Yeah, that's. I don't know if you can. I think you can hear me. But yeah, that's crazy. But I mean, I don't know if you live alone or you have a wife or if you live with your parents or whatever. That's a lot of bikes. That's going to take up a lot of space. So just prepare for that. But it is good that you have certain bikes to look at, and as you take them apart, I recommend you kind of take each one apart in the same phase, so you can kind of remember as you take apart of maybe one of the gas tanks. Okay, this one looks, oh, this one's pretty rusty. You take apart the next one's gas. Oh, this gas tank's actually clean, so you know which bike you can start becoming like a bin bike. Like, yeah, I can just take this to the scrapyard and see how much they'll give me. Because I assume those things have probably been sitting outside in the rain and got a bunch of rust on them and stuff, but yeah. Let's just do a little clip so it showcases. There we go. Let's go a little bit longer than that. What is that? I try to keep each clip at least 2 seconds. And then when I go back over the video, if there's anything that seems like too long or drawn out, I'll cut things down. But 2 seconds is a healthy clip. Like you can see these are probably about 3 or 4 seconds, but the rest of these are 2 seconds. You can kind of see there's 1 1000, 2 1000, 1 1000, 2 1000. See, it's just long enough to let you see what's going on, but it's quick enough that it's, I want to see something new, I want to see something new. Like here, there's like that one seems a little long already. So yeah, I just definitely try to keep it in the 2 second range. Yeah, let me know if anyone else uses Premiere Pro, or what do you use? Do you use Final Cut Pro on Apple or Mac, or what do you use? There we go. Actually, I need this plugged in. Sorry, I'm checking my phone. Let's see if I can flip this way. This way? This way? No. Oh, good. There we go. Finger bolt action. Maybe a little clip of getting one of the bolts off. There we go. And bit of removal. What is that? There we go. Looks good. Yeah. Always remember to stuff things in any sort of intake if you don't plan on taking the motor apart. If you saw in my speed triple build, I didn't really block up anything because I was taking that thing down to the cases, so I knew I was going to take everything apart anyway. But if you're not, always plug things up because you do not want to drop anything down in there. There we go. Let's see. I'll just put the bolts back on. I don't need to show that. Alright, let's show taking off this oil breather. See, I was missing a bolt. Oh. try to show the tool when I'm just starting out a frame. I always show the tool coming into frame, because sometimes if you just go ahead and start the shot off with the tool working, you kind of just get discombobulated on what's being worked on, and you feel like you're behind because something's already being done. So I always try and show the tool entering frame, so it kind of gives you a representation of, oh, we're going to be working right here, instead of like, oh, there's something going on in the frame and I don't know what's happening. But here we go. On. Right, cut that. Oh. So that's the other thing. Like a lot of times when I bounce the tool around, like I don't hit it exactly on the mark. I always cut out me fumbling stuff. But and switch to actually. There we go. Again, try and keep it within 2 seconds. Heavy breathing, of course. I need to tone down the audio on my camera so it doesn't always catch me like just freaking kind of like a random marathon or something. There we go. There we go. That looks good. Cut this middle part just so the clips are short. And that's the other thing that takes so long is, like, especially for me, the clips that I'm trying to use are really quick. So even if it seems like the sequence of me taking it off and whatever isn't that big a deal, I need to cut out all just the waiting period to make sure it's just like boom, boom, on to the next thing. But yeah. Plus the former owner put me in touch with some of his old contacts that are in Japan. Ooh, yeah, that could be fun. Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's good to network and find things out, because you never know who you're talking to. Like, I have a buddy who owns a Lamborghini, but he's just a normal guy. But he knows several people, and it's just one of those things. It's like I kind of had a talk with him the other day. I was like, you really need to leverage your network, because he's going to be trying to sell his Lambo here soon. And he's like, I might just list it to be for consignment. I'm like, but don't you already know a bunch of Lamborghini owners that already have the money that would be able to buy it? So it's like one of those crazy things. You never know who someone knows. Yeah, having a work area that's real tight, it's kind of hard. It's hard to work in a space with, especially a lot of motorcycles in it already. But if you have a little bit of space, like, yeah, I don't know, 10 by 10, or I don't know, what is that, a couple meters by a couple meters kind of space, you can get a lot done. And I'm really big on not utilizing a bunch of tools. That's why I don't know if you guys have fully seen you've seen my live setup, where all I have is a desk or a workbench out there with 2 drawers, and that's really all I need, all the tools I need to get the job done. I have some specialty tools that are on the shelf a little bit, but all the tools that I really actually need to take apart and work on a bike are in those 2 drawers. And so it's kind of one of those envious things, like, do I really need it or do I not need it? And so I have a very minimalist approach when it comes to not only tools, but also, like, when I worked in video editing a lot, like, I didn't go rent a bunch of different high-end things and build up a huge camera rig. It was always very small, point and shoot. It looks the same. You can produce the same product, but yeah, you can do a lot with a little bit of space. But yeah, let's get back to editing. Let's see. Alright, so now we got the oil breather off. Make sure that sequence looks good. Boom, boom, boom. That bolt off. Let's see if we have the sequence of taking it out. Yeah. get the up motion so it doesn't look like I'm trying to show it off. See if that looks weird. Right where the scroll bar is right where my webcam is. Oh yeah. Maybe I can just cut to this. I'm looking at it. It's a little bit long, but roll it up there, and then here's a perfect example, just cutting off the fluff, me moving into position to show off the hose. There we go. Melted, bent up hose that just was not in good shape. But we got that replaced with the OEM one, which is good. Alright, so that one's done. Let me see, make sure that clip's done. Yeah, and then on to the next one. And so, just for reference, like this folder that I have, this is would be above me to the left, just like right up here. These are all the clips that I have to go through. And you'll see the little blue marks on them. That's meaning they're already in my timeline. This is the timeline for, if you don't know what this area is called, or if you guys have never used the video editing software, this is your preview head, timeline, and then these are all your file folders. But in this folder where I have all the clips for this, it's 131 shots. But remember, some of those shots are, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes long that I just let play, that I'm going to cut little bits from. So I could easily get up to probably 3 to 4 times. So we could probably get up to about 500 clips that I'm going to be using just from this video. And that's not including like other stuff, like if I'm doing intro and outro. So these videos take time, and so when people are like, where's your next video? I'm like, I haven't sat down to just do it, but what we're doing here. There we go. Yeah, you'll see I'll go in and go out a couple times to make sure I get the right shot. That one did not want to move. Alright, so we'll just do the on, and then we'll get it when it breaks. There we go. That's good enough. We got that. See if that looks good. There we go. Of course, there's a big sigh from me. Let's go and get some ratcheting sounds. I guess we'll do all the brakes first. Good. Yeah. Sound terrible. There we go. Alright, let's see. Nice. Yeah. If you guys pop in and have any questions about motorcycle stuff, let me know. Nice. Yeah, that's good. It's always good to have a clean spot. Yeah. Yeah, that Superbike guy, he's a perfect example. Jim from Superbike Surgery, he's a perfect example of like doing so much with so little, because he's essentially fitting his whole workshop into a van, and in his van he can even fit the bike in there sometimes to work on it or do tests. So it's like, holy shit, that's being very efficient. So yeah, that's one way to keep it clean. And I just did a full revamp clean of my garage because I got to start after I get some editing done, after I get this video done, I'm going to be working on that 748 that's out there, but that one needs a lot of work. So that one, I think I'm gonna go through one day and just dump the fuel, put some fuel in it, put the battery in it, and see if I can just get it to run. But yeah, that one's gonna possibly, well, more likely I just need to drop the engine, check everything, probably take out all the seals and stuff. I didn't really want to take it completely apart, like take out the bearings and stuff, but I do want to, anything that's rubber on it, I do want to check. But I think the gaskets, the head gasket's gonna be okay. Hopefully the pistons aren't rusted. I don't think that's the case. It's been stored in a covered barn for the past 10 years. There's no technical water damage on it. It was just rusted from being outside. But it was up in Ohio, I think, so it definitely snows up there, but it was in a barn, so it wasn't snowed directly on. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Taking notes is good too. I'm not that good at taking notes. I just video stuff, like when I was putting back together the Triumph Speed Triple, that was a full engine teardown. I had to look back at the video footage to realize what parts go where on some things, because I put everything together, put them in baggies, and it was pretty self-explanatory. This bolt goes here, this goes here, but there are some spots where it's like a sequence that I didn't know which way it goes, and instead of trying to look up the manual and read through the manual, I was like, oh, I'll just look back through the video clip, and sure enough. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So you remember, yeah, take notes on each patient. You have 3 patients now. You have 3 bikes to work on. But now let's go ahead and get this guy. Let's see, we got those. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, and up. That looks good. And then I think cut the fluff. Cut the fluff. There we go. I think that's good. And we show 2 bolts being removed, so I think we move on to actually removing it. That's right. This thing was a pain in the ass. You had to move this out of the way. Let me just showcase pulling that up. There you go. I'll do that.
Go.
Nice. That looks good. This will actually be good because
Okay.
actually I'm gonna remove this clip because that kind of was self-explanatory. Just lifting it up and pulling it out. That's good. No, I hate how it jumps back. I got my mouse. Okay, so now what's left on this clip? There you go, stuff up.
You can get
There. See how long it is.
you can get in there.
I gotta start a sequence in and out. Let's do that. So it stops jumping around on me. Still wants to jump. I forgot what the how So this was just clear, this was down low, removing the oil cooler. Let's see here. I just realized I need to change up some of this footage, because I actually used a different way of measuring that, and I think that's what you guys saw was me measuring those differently. So I need to make sure I get that stuff in. Yeah, hold on a second. Pull that up. Mending Motos. 996 footage. Alright, where is that new footage? Alright, what do we got here? There. What was it? To look back through that. Where is it? I guess we can just go ahead and just get as far as we can before we get to the valve clearance checks, because I actually did the valve clearance checks a different way. Because you can see this footage down here, these little clips, are when I was utilizing the, I don't want to say old technique, or the other technique, where you first measure under those valve shims like that, and then you use, I don't know if I showed it here. But I mean, this is a good clip. I can use this. Let's see if it shows the other way that I used. Yeah. You use a socket and an extension to push down on that guy, and then you get a reading. But yeah, actually I think that was the one that was all jacked up too, the intake. So I didn't do a very good job on that one. But good news, the guy's bike that I was working on, it runs perfectly now. After the second round of valve adjustment clearances, after replacing 3 rockers, after replacing a spark plug boot, after replacing redoing spark plug gaps, and cleaning plugs, just a whole bunch of stuff to make sure there was no more chance of intake backfire. Everything's working perfectly, so whatever I did, it worked. It was a lot of stuff, which isn't really the best for finding the culprit issue, but it worked, so I'm happy. Back to what? See, like, okay. Yep. Let's make this one a little bit longer so people kind of understand that we're starting from a new place entirely. So, fast. I kind of fumble that quite a lot, actually. Let's cut that down, actually. Let's go. Alright, there. That's good. See how that looks. That looks like it just goes straight in. Perfect. Perfect shot. What is that? That's roughly 2 seconds. That's good. Next. You can see I did like 3-4 attempts. There we go. skip the waiting period here. So anything I can do to just shorten it down. Oh, what happened here? Come back. There you go. And there we go. That was a perfect sequence. Alright, what else do I got? Take it off here. Let's do it before my thumb adjusts. Sweet. That looks good. Let it hang. Nice. See if there's any more. Just me putting the bolts back in. I don't really ever show putting the bolts back in. It's just kind of a mute point. It's nothing to show off. Alright, so I don't know why. I think I need to showcase that one. Taking off the lower. Okay, so I'm going to flag this one. Make these a different color. This just helps them stand out. Let's make you rose. Just so I know when I need to go back, because what I need to do is I need to show me taking off that lower plate, but I need to show the radiator or the oil cooler coming off first, and then that lower plate coming off. So it kind of doesn't make sense if I'm going from this, that, and then straight to that plate. But I guess it could make sense because I'm getting everything off beforehand, but off. Next. So this is the intake of the vertical cylinder. Kept hitting the frame. It was such an awkward position. See if I can just take out me hitting the frame. Because you know, I'm not clumsy. I'm a perfect mechanic. Alright, so I'll do that. And then move over. Just getting all the bolts, showing them breaking loose. Because it's, to me, is one of the most exciting moments because you don't know if that bolt's going to snap or not. So I always try to remove those, or include that moment of, you never know. Alright, and then let's get the bolts coming out. Two, figure out where to put this. Because in my mind it doesn't make sense to take up a spark plug. I'm taking off,
Good.
oh yeah, I guess I was lining up the timing marks, so I guess I did have that on there. Hey, I gotta see if I messed up that boot somehow, if I sprayed some sort of something on it and it made the boot seize onto the spark plug, which was kind of weird. Alright, let's get used to it here. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And then we'll get you popping out. There we go. Sorry if that was loud. Sorry. And spark plug socket. Yeah. There it goes. Couldn't tell when it breaks loose. I'm just looking at my shadow. There it goes. You can kind of see the motion of it. So. There we go. That thing was nasty. That spark plug was nasty. I forgot how bad they were. Let's see if we can cut a section. I don't know if I inspect it. Yeah.
Rusty and corroded.
A little bit too zoomed in for that one. There we go. Okay. What is this? Oh, that's right. I didn't realize that. So this was just a double check for me to find out where the piston was, to make sure the piston was where it was supposed to be. Because whatever it is, top dead center on this bike, since it's got the V, it's the horizontal that's fully top dead center, so all the way at the top of its stroke. But the vertical one is, I think it's like a 2/3 of a stroke. So that was just to let me know, like, to make sure everything was lined up. And also, whenever I needed to work on the valves on the vertical one, I wanted that piston all the way up, so I needed that screwdriver to let me know it's all the way up there. Yes, I do. Yeah, Frank, I totally get OCD. It's OCD for working on the bikes, especially if they're not mine. When they're bikes that I'm working on, I do get a certain level where I want things to be correct, and I'll go over it a couple times just to make sure, because it's motorcycle. If I'm going over 100 miles an hour on it, I don't want something to fall off or break or become loose. But this bike particular, I was very OCD about it, but even then, like, I was very, very critical of myself. But even then, he got it and there was something wrong, and then I went back over the whole thing and I found a whole bunch of things wrong. I was like, oh my god. But I do have to give myself some grace or some leeway, because this is the first Ducati motor I've worked on. It's a completely different setup. Like, the whole Desmotronic valve system is so new for me. And then also this one had all of its quirks, like the rockers wear, and then gaps coming from factories for spark plugs are way off because they need to be a certain one, and there was a bunch of things that was weird. But yeah, I do totally get OCD. with it. And it's funny enough you say that. I do kind of get a little OCD with the video editing too. I didn't really before, but I'm really big on like flow, timing and flow. And like you'll hear me talk about like, you'll see me highlight this stuff. I'm like, oh, it doesn't really make sense to take that off right now and then start taking off plates. It makes more sense, hindsight, if I would have waited to take off the oil cooler when I was going to actually work on that bottom horizontal head. So I just have this highlighted because I'm going to move it around and make better sense to me. So if I were to do it all over again, I would have done it in this sequence, and that's how I'll show it on video. So things will still be all done correctly. It's just I'm putting them in a different order that I think would have been smarter the first time around. Let's see here. There we go. This was me rotating the engine. I think I'll just show it. Let's see, what does that look like? Put it in, goes down, and goes up. Okay, so that gives you an idea of what's going on with that. So now I'll cut to the alignment marks. Ooh, yeah, that actually turned out really good. This shot was really hard to get because even with all my new lights that I had up in the shop, the glare, I couldn't get a light in the sight hole without there being glare. So this was actually, seems simple, seems just like a close-up shot, but I had to work really hard. You can see me working with the flashlight trying to get it to. I'll do those two clips moving this way, missing it, moving that way, moving that way, missing it, and just a little bonk bonk bonks. And again, that's the timing mark to get on the crank in the correct position. That timing mark can be in a, what is it? I don't know what the angles are, but it can be a complete 180 opposite, even though it's lined up with that mark, or it can be the correct lined up mark. Let's see, what else we got on this one? Yeah, I think that was good. I think this makes sense. And that's the thing that I just keep replaying it just to see, make sure it makes sense. Okay. There we go. Yeah, it looks good to me. Sweet. Yeah. But yeah, let's see here. See, like, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do. So, like, here's a perfect example. I'm trying to figure out, is it probably better I show this coming off, that coming off? That's fine. I think that's fine. Okay. So, let's see here. So we know that plate's off now. actually a pretty good angle. There we go. Maybe I do a real fast time lapse of how many attempts it takes to get that thing, to get the correct measurement. That's right there. Yeah, I'm looking to see where the timeline ends. Alright, and then we'll do in. No. Go. So now, let's make this, let's make you, I don't know, 3,000% faster. Let's see, what does that make you? How long does that make you? That makes you 10 seconds, maybe. Make you 5,000% faster. 6 seconds seems good enough. Yeah, it's not too long. Let's turn this down. Unlink. Turn this volume down. The sped up motion on when you get past like 500%, it becomes just like a loud squeaking sound whenever you make things like real fast. It's already almost 11:30. I was supposed to start editing at like 8, but I was trying to figure out this streaming software. That way I could show me talking to you guys, but also the screen share of what was going on, what I'm working on. This OBS or OBST, or maybe I think it's just OBS. What is this? Yeah, OBS software. It's free, which is kind of cool and open source, and it's actually the best out of the ones that I saw, and all the other ones that did pretty much the same thing are like $40 a month. I was like, I don't really want to do that for just kind of hanging out and streaming at night. I don't think it's worth it. So Frank, are you gonna start? Videoing your rebuilds? You just use your phone, dude. Set it up, and then you get some free editing software. You don't even need that good of editing software, just some free stuff to cut things down. See how all three of those RF 900s turn out. Alright, let's see. I think I'll showcase on this. I'll showcase this way to do it with the socket, just so I have it in there so people realize that I know the most common way to do it. Because there's 3 ways. There's one with the Ducati tool, which is essentially the same thing what I was doing here. There's the socket extension, or there's the Allen key that I found out. I gotta find that guy's YouTube channel and mention him in this once I post this video and be like, big thanks to you, because it made my life so much easier, because it's so stressful trying to push down on that spring and then try and get a reading. So you're trying to do this all at once, and then you have oil on your hands all the time because you're messing with things, touching things, especially the shims, or the feeler gauges. They come with some sort of oil or machining oil lubricant on them, but you're rubbing them in the engine oil, and so you're handling them. You have oil over your hands, so you're trying to hold this socket, push it down on this tiny little edge. You can kind of see it, this little stupid edge. Yeah, you can see right, it's like this big. Trying to get just the edge of it, and the socket's slipping off all the time. And this one is the easiest. This is the vertical with the most amount of room and everything. But you'll see in the other clips. But yeah, you have to get it right on that edge and push down. And the spring is actually pretty strong, so I could never really tell when the spring was all the way down or if it was just kind of in limbo. So this, I highly recommend the Allen key trick. That was a much more useful trick than trying to do it with a socket. But I think I am going to leave this in here, and I'll make a note. That's the other thing I'll do with these. I'll do voiceovers with these, and when it comes to the full video, I won't do a voiceover video because people just like to ASMR it out and just watch the video. But yeah, for these segmented ones, like this video is going to be all about the valve clearance. I'll talk people through what I'm doing. Yeah, this was me being confused. Yep, and this one look better. This one, I think this here, and then there we go. Come on, measure. Yeah. I have to have been judging myself so hardcore when watching this stuff. We'll start from there. Alright, let's see here. Do I do the other side? I don't know if I did the other side. Yeah, here's a perfect example. It was already getting awkward. Trying to use my weaker left hand. You can see the paper towel in my hand trying to alleviate the slippage from all the oil on my hand. So it's just an awkward thing, but yeah. We'll, for now on, we'll be doing the Allen key trick, but let's see.
Alright.
That's a good shot. But yeah, this is when I was like getting frustrated because I would push down and it would, like, I'd push down all the way that I could, but using the shim it would feel like there was no resistance. I was like, okay, so I just move around, and I didn't feel my hand moving that much, but then it would get stuck. I'm like, oh my god. So yeah, you can see me run through. It wasn't just an easy first run through pass. I had to just keep messing with it because it was something so alien to me. few of these clips are going to be a little bit longer because it kind of showcases what's going on. And this is the other confusing part because I like the way this shot looks, but all the numbers are different. So I think I'm going to stick with these numbers because you guys saw on the live that I had to change a bunch of shims again just to get them back in spec, because once I replaced the rocker arms, the valve shims were off anyway. So we'll just go ahead and keep this stuff in shot. I have a dry cough that hasn't left today. No, that's not what I zoomed to. There we go. Yeah, and you can see in this clip I was using both the millimeters and the inches, which just gets confusing because I had to change those shims, so I just had already taken up all my space. So I should have put just millimeters and then after adjustment and then final verdict. So I had to go through a couple of these papers, and Desmo Times actually has this sheet for free to download, and it was super helpful. Without it, I would have not been able to be as organized for sure. But yeah, it's good stuff. That website has some good stuff too. Let's see here.
Same.
And this was me doing the calculations for the closer clearance, because you just subtract the unloaded from the loaded, and that's what gives you your closer clearance, which is the clearance of the opener. Or sorry, the closer.
Point.
Let's just go ahead. Make it there. Alright, so let's see. Do I do putting down the pen or not? Let's do the pen. Alright. Nice. Let's check, make sure that makes sense. Shorten that one up so I don't show inches.
0. 0, 7.
I deleted one. Need the top number. There we go. Always know where your cursor is, or you'll chop something in half. There we go. That's good enough.
0, 7.
That's good. Sweet. Alright, awesome. That looks good. Alright. Actually, what time is that? 11:30. Alright, boys. I think I'm going to cut this one a little bit short because I got a late start on this one. But tomorrow night we're going to be editing some more. Just kind of a hangout session. Frank, if you want to stop by, give me some updates on the bikes. Also, Frank, put your Instagram handle in the chat I want to go see if you've been taking pictures of those bikes. I want to see your super neat setup that you got, or super clean setup. But yeah, I think we'll continue the other night or tomorrow night because I'll have more time. Because it's already 11:30 at night here, and I kind of want to get to bed before 12. But yeah, we'll go ahead and cut this one short. Normally I do a 2-3 hour stream, but yeah, it's already getting late. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I'll go ahead and end the stream. But yeah, Frank, leave your Instagram handle or anything that I can follow your stuff, because you need to start posting stuff on your motorcycles. That'd be cool to watch. But yeah, guys, let me go ahead and get this up here. But yeah, Frank, you have a good night, man, or a good day. I don't know what time it is in Japan. Let's see here. All right. Let's see. How do I work this software? This OBS software. It's new, but figure it out. There it is. All right. You guys have a good night. We're going to be editing tomorrow night, probably around 8:30, and then we'll go into around 11:30, 12. So if you guys want to come hang out and just chat, leave some questions about motorcycles or even video editing in the chat, you're more than welcome. But yeah, we will see you guys tomorrow night, and I'll put up a picture or I'll make a post on YouTube to remind you guys if you guys want to come hang out. All right, we'll see you guys later.